Hey guys, quick. You know what I'm looking for.
I'll tell you what. Follow me down there. I'll take him. Follow that van because my bet is that's where he's going.
Well, when I come home every day, when I come down just past where all the junkyards are to the right, there's lines and lines of illegals with their backpacks and just in lines, and they all have them lined up, and they're getting bussed out of here.
No matter what your political views are, by now you have probably heard about the border crisis. In this video we'll try to answer your questions and also show you the crisis from the inside and how the system is operating. Even though the current border issues go far beyond just the border, and you've probably heard stories out of places like Chicago, New York and New Jersey, the border is where it all starts. In just about 2 years, since 2021, US Customs and Border Protection, CBP, has logged over 9 million illegal border crossings, and 90% of them, about 7.5 million, happened at the southwest land border. Additionally, since 2021, there are almost 2 million known getaways. A getaway is a border crosser who was detected by the CBP technology but never apprehended. These are only the official numbers provided by the CBP. However, some experts say the actual numbers of illegal border crossings might be even higher. With most attention focused on Texas and Arizona, the border crisis in California mainly stays out of the picture. We decided it's time to change that and investigated what's actually happening on the ground. And what you will see today might shock you. We started our journey with the US-Mexico border in San Diego, specifically at the San Ysidro port of entry, the largest land border crossing not only in the US or in America, but also in the Western Hemisphere. Border officials say they've seen a growing number of people on the FBI terrorist watch list trying to enter the country, specifically through the US-Mexico border. According to FBI Director Christopher Wray, the terror threat facing the United States has now reached unprecedented levels. Of almost 10 million people who crossed the border illegally, how many terror suspects are now in the US? Well, we don't really know. When we arrived in San Ysidro in the morning, we saw about a dozen people standing in front of the port of entry building. All of them were of different nationality, age and gender. However, they all had one thing in common. They were holding a white paper with the notice to appear written on top of it. Notice to appear is an official document that's issued to illegal migrants who claim asylum at the border and provides a date they have to show up in court for the removal proceedings. On the initial hearing, the immigration judge will decide whether their asylum case has merit, and if it does, they will have other hearings afterwards. Depending on the state, port of entry, and even time of year, the initial court dates on the notices to appear can be as far away as 10 years, and during this time frame, illegal migrants stay in the US. Interesting fact, as you can see, those who just illegally crossed the border look really indistinguishable from just regular tourists. So guys, as you can see, those who just illegally crossed the border actually looked much better than the local homeless population. The local border patrol had a no trespassing sign posted in front of the port of entry, and the officer did not let us anywhere near the entrance. As the legal port of entry, it's clear that San Ysidro is just the tip of the iceberg. If we want to find out what's actually happening at the border, we have to go to the places that facilitate illegal entry, which in simpler words means just the holes in the border wall. You cannot fully grasp the current situation until you talk to the locals and see the rural border towns with your own eyes. For that purpose, we took a longer route, going through the twists and turns of the San Diego mountains. Apart from a few border patrol vehicles and breathtaking scenery along the way, there wasn't much to talk about until we got to the small rural border towns of Campa and Jacumba. So you live here, right by the border wall. Can you tell us a little bit of what you experienced yourself?
Well, when I come home every day, when I come down just past where all the junkyards are to the right, there's lines and lines of illegals with their backpacks and just in lines, and they all have them lined up, and they're getting bussed out of here. And just about almost every day when I come by, I see every day it's a new group of people, and it's lots. It's not like just 15, it's like 30, 40 to 100. Just lined up there. They have them all lined up, and then Border Patrol stays there, and then obviously they get bussed out of here. But they're every day it's like a new pack of people, so they're coming in, and they're not dirty or they're clean, and it looks like they have an easy way in. So That's all I know.
Do you think there is a hole in the border wall?
I think there's somewhere where they're letting him in and they're not really stopping him.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you noticed buses in the evening. Do you think it's because of the schedule or because they're trying to hide them, basically?
Probably both.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once they round them all up, they probably have it scheduled so when the buses come.
Yeah. So the last question, the migrants that you personally saw, were they families, single adults, men, women?
Like there are a lot of men and women. I didn't see very many children.
Mm-hmm. And every day, like bus loads?
Yeah, almost every day.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
As you can see, there is also barbed wire on top and something that looks like a gate. We had a chance to speak with several other local residents, and all of them also pointed us to the camp right outside of town. There was no one there when we arrived, but we didn't give up and kept going. In about 10-15 minutes, we found another county access road going to the border, and it led us to another migrant camp. So as you can see, this is a pretty rural area, right? There's nothing here, and yet we see all kinds of garbage, like beer cans, plastic water bottles, packaged juice, cigarettes, something that looks like a raincoat. And this is what interested me. If I'm not mistaken, it says international driver's license or permission to drive, and it belongs to Touring and Automobile Club of Colombia. If you were wondering how do the locals feel in the small rural town, well, we just saw it. Keep building the wall, it's obvious. And it's got blue and red colors, which is quite symbolic, because I believe that should be a non-partisan issue, because this is border security that applies to all. So as we were passing by the border wall, looking to get closer, I've just noticed a couple of very informative signs which clearly state smuggling is a federal felony. Interestingly, they are not in Spanish, unlike the signs that invite illegal migrants to call for help when they are trying to cross. There's also another sign that I really liked as we were passing by it. As you can see, there is someone's ranch. Lots of American flags. Let us pray for peace in our land, keep our hearts from sorrows and pain, bless us all with joy and hope, love and care for each one in this world. Never forget, in memory of September 11, 2001. How the wall looks like up close. You see, no one is able to go through here if it's not cut. No kid, no animal even. Like, you cannot even put a dog or a cat here. So it looks pretty secure from this angle, but again, as long as it's not cut. And when you see it real up close, just think about it, how much equipment and how expensive this equipment should be in order to cut it. And how long should it take to cut it? Which means there should be no law enforcement or border patrol present in this area. You know, draw your own conclusions. It was a sunny afternoon, and after discovering the abandoned migrant camp, we decided to return to Jacumba to get some water and talk to the locals more. Here, everyone is aware of the border crisis, and everyone has seen the busloads of illegal migrants daily. People are upset about the situation at the border, but are usually afraid to talk on camera, and some of them even shared they're afraid of the Mexican cartels. When talking about the illegal migrant camps, locals mentioned that a lot of the illegal migrants are actually Chinese. One of the local residents pointed us to another migrant camp near Lake Domingo. There was no address or clear directions. As you can imagine, Google does not know that spot, so we had to go through some trial and error just to get there.
Hey guys, quick. You know what I'm looking for. I'll tell you what. Follow me down there. I'll take him. Follow that van because my bet is that's where he's going.
The sign stopped that.
Yeah. Exactly, but technically this is a public access road, even though it's got all those things on there. But yeah, Follow that van and he should be
Let's
going
follow
to the
them.
camp.
We listened to that advice and followed the Border Patrol van through the bumpy and dusty rural roads of San Diego County. So the locals did not lie. This is the thing that the Border Patrol is running. Check this out. They are putting them in the vans, in the buses, and deliver God knows where. As a ride-sharing service, essentially. Look guys, this is the third bus that's loading them up. This is the Border Patrol bus, and we've been here only for about maybe 5 minutes. And here are 100 more people, and I guess some support organizations or NGOs, which they're commonly known as. They just brought them food, supplies, etc. And they line up to receive the goods. So see it for yourself. It's all truth. And if you look really closely, and we try our best to show it to you up close, most of them are really military-age men.
Been busy?
With them?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't generally help unless they call 911.
Right.
They call now. So yeah, I mean, they're not stopped.
We saw like 10 plus vans already. It's
Every day like that.
every day.
Oh wow.
Wow.
This is crazy.
This is one camp. There's another one further down. Then there's one at the end of the county. 3 camps just like this.
Do you know where are they coming from?
Everywhere, all over the world.
No, I understand.
Like what spot?
Any spot specifically?
In the
I
wall.
was just trying to.
Oh, there's the way the fence, the border runs, down at the bottom of Blue Valley there's a gun club down there.
Okay.
There's a hole in the fence there. So they don't have to jump, they just walk through.
This is crazy.
And over a little further down, there's another hole in the fence. And then all the way down, there's another hole. There's another one down in like the 44,300 block of Old Highway 80.
44,000?
I don't know the exact address, but it's down the 44,300 block. And then the last camp, you can see it if you get on the freeway and go east. It's at Inkapa and Old Highway 80. That's where the other camp is.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. So
Yeah.
Because, I don't think this is sustainable.
it's not at all. And this is here. Imagine what it's like in Texas and Arizona.
As we were leaving for the day, we saw with our own eyes what the locals meant when they said the migrants were coming by busloads every single day. Well, as you can see, most of them are indeed military-aged Chinese men. The footage you just saw is only the first part of our series covering the US border crisis. Of course, it's important to mention that the current situation at the border is not only a security issue, but also a humanitarian one. It's hard to blame people running away from physical danger or simply looking for a better life. After all, this is human nature. The United States of America is a country of immigrants. However, immigration and entry laws have been put in place for a reason, and everyone we spoke to during this filming pointed out that the current levels of illegal migration are simply not sustainable for the system and the country as a whole. Just as a quick comparison, 9 million illegal migrants who entered the US by illegally crossing the border since 2021 is bigger than the current population of most US states, 38 states to be exact. A few other journalists who covered the border crisis discovered multiple IDs thrown away at the border. Well, if all of us need a government-issued ID to go to another country, how do the people who throw away their IDs get in? Is it enough for them just to say who they are and they are admitted? And most importantly, why do they throw away their IDs in the first place? Well, in a lot of cases, it means they simply do not want their real name to get a hit through a criminal or terrorist watchlist database. A lot of times, out of lack of knowledge, people mix up legal and illegal immigration into one term. However, these two terms are significantly different. Legal immigrants are thoroughly checked and vetted. Illegal immigrants are not. And with the record high illegal border crossing numbers, it gets easier and easier to slip through the cracks of the broken system. Additionally, in many states, illegal migrants are now provided with free housing, food, and insurance at the taxpayer's cost. Those who have a prior criminal record cannot obtain a visa to the US. However, under the current border procedures, some of them are able to illegally cross the border and remain in the country basically indefinitely. As a result, we do not really know who gets into the US in the record-breaking numbers, the numbers we've simply never seen before. Based on what we saw in Hakumba, most of the illegal migrants were Chinese military-aged men. Locals referred to these camps as Chinese encampments, specifically. According to the local deputy sheriff and also the official CBP numbers, thousands illegally crossed the border only at that location, every single day. According to the official CBP data, the number of Chinese nationals apprehended at the border in 2023 increased by more than twice when we compare it to either 2021 or 2022. Additionally, Chinese encounters within the months of October, November, and December of 2023 almost surpassed the numbers for the full years of 2021 and 2022. Of course, we should not forget that China is a communist country and many of these people run from physical danger and repression. But without the proper entry and immigration procedures in place, it's really hard, if not impossible, to distinguish those who need help from those who have bad intentions. And of course, that equally applies to any nationality. According to the official CBP data, most of those who cross the border illegally are single adults. Because of such unprecedented numbers of illegal border crossings, many call this an invasion. After everything you've seen just now, do you think this term is an overstatement? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. We'd love to hear your opinion. If you find what you've seen today as concerning, please like this video and share it with your local elected representatives and the media. Share this video with as many people as you can. Ask questions and be informed about what's happening around you. If you'd like to learn more about the border crisis and also see the photos and maps, including the location of the migrant camps we discovered, go to our website. I've dropped the link in the first comment down below. Again, this is only the first part of our border crisis series. And in the next episode, we'll show you how the holes in the border wall look like and how the operation is set up from the Mexican side of the border. If you have any questions about the border crisis, please drop them in the comments down below. We will go over all of them. Also, if you have any insight of what's happening at the border and what you feel needs to be covered, please email us or simply comment down below. Thanks everyone for watching. The next video is coming up shortly. Subscribe to our channel to stay tuned. If you'd like to support independent investigative journalism and want to see more videos like this one, join our channel as a member.